grew up hearing we can't afford it constantly as a child, stick around because I'm going to go through how this is holding you back and what you can do to change it. But before we get started, my name is Abby. I help individuals and businesses create consistent income and scale through proven strategies. Give me a quick follow and save this for later. You're going to want to reference it. So my experience with we can't afford it was that both of my parents, despite the fact that they were divorced and had different money styles, would both say this a lot. And the problem with we can't afford it is not whether or not we could actually afford it in the moment, but it shut down all options of how we could afford it. Saying we can't afford it basically implies that the streams of income we currently had coming in were the only options for us. So unless we magically started making more money that way, we weren't going to be able to afford anything. And this is a place I got stuck in for decades. For many years, I remember saying, I can't afford to go on vacation, or I can't afford to buy a house, or whatever it was. And any outsider looking at my bank account would say, yeah, that's correct. But what I really had to realize to start creating consistent income in my own business and help others is that what my bank account says is irrelevant. A lot of us feel that money controls us, but really money is a tool. You've probably heard this before. And like any tool, you can get more of it when you need it. You just have to get creative. So if you're going to sit there and look at your bank account and say, I can't afford it, but choose not to look at other opportunities to create income, then you're going to have a hard time building success. Because your mentality is that it only comes in through a day job or, whatever your consistent form of income is. When instead of saying, I can't afford it or we can't afford it, you start saying, how can we afford it? You open yourself up to opportunities that are out there that you may not have thought of. Sometimes they literally just fall into your lap, and sometimes you have to go looking for them. For example, about a month and a half ago, I had been making consistent income in my business, but it was kind of drying up a little bit, and I was getting a little concerned. So I chose to kind of remind myself that I deserve to have opportunities that will make me successful, bring us consistent income, and allow us to live the lifestyle we want. I think it was like maybe 48 hours later, a friend of mine contacted me saying they had this freelance gig that they had accepted, but they couldn't actually do it, and would I be okay with them referring me as a replacement? I ended up meeting with the company, the owner, the manager, and the copywriter, and we hit it off. And so I started working for that company. And a month later, the owner asked me to take over design work for one of his other companies. But it's all about building that flexible mindset and allowing opportunities to come to you in the ways they're meant to. Once you start doing this, you'll start to see opportunities everywhere. Maybe you're a graphic designer and you're talking to your neighbor and she's talking about how she needs a logo for, her grandson's lawn mowing business. Well, there's an opportunity to offer your services right there. Or maybe you're at the grocery store and you're a financial planner and you overhear a couple of friends who randomly met at the market discussing how they need to work on figuring out their retirement plan. Carry your business cards. There's an opportunity knocking right there. The reality of the we can't afford it mentality is that most of us grew up with it, and it is hard to kick to the curb. So whether you're building a business or you're just trying to get financially stable in your personal life without necessarily building a business, allowing yourself to open up to the opportunities available to you and not just settle for the income you make from your 9-to-5 is going to change how you approach money in general. If you're working on opening up your mindset and you're interested in learning about how to create an online income, head to my profile and jump into my group so we can talk.